What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Blunt guy. Hey! And we back again. We are back again with another, I said another reaction stream. And today, let's talk about what happened at the Reverie, right? What happened at the Reverie. And what did happen at the Reverie, right? Supposedly, Marshall D. Preach may have those answers because we are reacting to Marshall D. Preach. We finally know what happened at the Reverie, foreshadowed since Whiskey Peak. All right, y'all. So that's pretty much the title of the video. That's what we are going to get into today. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. It really helps with the videos, which will in turn help with the channel. Also, subscribe and hit that bell for notification. Make sure y'all hit that bell for notification because I'm not sure if people are getting notified when I go live. So definitely, if you want to be notified, hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the Discord and we have the Facebook group. All of these will be in the description box below. They will be linked there, as well as the link to the video we are watching today from Marshall D. Preach. But before I get into that, let me check the chat. We got Angel's Room in the building. Shout out to Angel's Room. He said, "Yo, what's good with you, man? How's your day going? You know, I hope all is well with you and everybody else viewing this live stream with me today." But yeah, so Reverie, right? Reverie. We we pretty much started Reverie, or I think Reverie was pretty much starting as far as the important delegates going to Reverie since I want to say about Zoe. I think it started around Zoe, and we got a few gems from what actually transpired at Reverie during the Wano arc, right? Between each of the acts, we kind of get little snippets about Reverie. But Reverie kind of ended on a cliffhanger, right? It ended on a cliffhanger, because we got some big news, pun intended, because, Big News Morgan, of course, is the one who pretty much broke the story, right? He had the double-sided cover story where he had two cover stories pretty much, on each side. And then there were three big news pieces, right? News stories that we got from Reverie. But before I get into those big things, let's kind of talk about what we seen at Reverie, right? What we seen at Reverie. We start with Shirahoshi and Fishman pretty much being escorted by Monkey D. Gart, Luffy's grandpops. He was taking them to Reverie. It was like this elevator thing, right? And they get there, there's like this little walkway that they're supposed to walk on that kind of moves them, right? But they was like, we don't feel comfortable taking that thing for some reason. And come to find out, we learned the slaves. What else do we get? We got some Kuma stuff, right? Kuma's pretty much being used as a torture object for the Celestial Dragons, where they ride him. We seen all these swords sticking out of Kuma. We get some things with I want to say King, I think it was Nefertari, right? He went to go try to have a private chat, private discussion with the Gorosei. Angel's Room said, "I thought there was three things, big things, Big News Morgan, news or whatever." Man, y'all be killing me, man. He said Sabo's death or captured in seven warlords. It's three things. It's I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit because that's kind of the talking piece. But yeah, I said there's three things, three of them. But before I just didn't get into those three things just yet. By big news, I mean the news, the world government, and didn't want him to leak. Yeah, there's three stories that I'm gonna get into. I just kind of want to recap Reverie for a little bit. So yeah, King Nefertiti, he requested audience with the Gorosei. They talked to him. We get the reveal of Eam, right? We get this big reveal of like right before we get this reveal, right before we get the reveal, we see the throne, right? We get a view of the throne, and we see all these swords sticking kind of like at one of the levels. When you go up the throne, it's like some swords sticking out in front of it, right? And there was an explanation saying, yeah, the throne is empty because it shows that there is no king of the world, and every king of each country or every leader of each country, pretty much, you know, stake their sword there to show that yes, their allegiance is under the world government, under this empty throne that no king sits under. Then we get the reveal of Eam, right? We also get this moment where we see Eam kind of making it seem like he made a decision on between Blackbeard, Vivi, Luffy, and Shirahoshi, I think, right? We also get the Straw Hat. We get some of the meeting in Reverie. Shank shows up, has a meeting with the Gorosei, and then later, that the part of Reverie that we get left on the cliffhanger is the news, right? There were three stories. Those three stories are there was a fatality, right? It wasn't clear what the fatality was, but there was some fatality. Supposedly somebody got killed or harmed. I'm not too sure which one, right? There was an attempted murder, and the third news was the decision, right? The vote, the decision for the Shichibukai. Because we know that's kind of one thing that King Riku, King Nefertari, like them guys, they wanted to abolish the warlords because we know that we had the that thing with Crocodile pretty much messing up everything going on in Alabasta. We got Doflamingo in Dressrosa. So yeah, these warlords that they're pretty much allowed to do these things. They're funded by the world government pretty much, right? The same warlords or the same ones that's going on in these countries and messing them up. They're messing them up and or oppressing people, right? But let's talk about the two other situations, right? There was a major fatality. We don't know. Somebody got killed, somebody got hurt, somebody got caught. What, right? A lot of people assume that Sabo, kind of like what Angel's Room said. A lot of people assume that could have been Sabo. And then we had the attempted murder. A lot of people think that maybe Sabo's getting framed for attempted murder or something. Point is, we don't really know what's going on. Angel's Room said, oh, I thought you said two. No, I said three. There were three. There was the fatality, the murder attempt or assassination attempt or whatever, and then the warlord decision, of abolishing the warlord system. Now we don't really know what happened with the warlords. Like which warlords lost, which ones won. Who was sent. Like we know that Kobe was sent to capture Boa. But other than that, we didn't really get any closure on what happened with that. And we also don't know what happened with Sabo. It's just a lot of implication that something happened to Sabo based off of the revolutionary response, and I think we've seen some other responses throughout the world that pointed out Sabo when they was reading the news about this major news, right? Angel's Room said it's more like the warlord funded the world government. The world government just give them protection. When I said funded, I didn't necessarily mean like they gave them money. I didn't mean that. It's just I couldn't find a better word at the moment. But they're allowing the warlords to they're like sanctioning them. That's the word I was looking for. They're sanctioning the warlord system, where they're allowing it to happen, and then they're allowing these warlords to do whatever they want under the world government, right? That's pretty much what I mean by funded. I didn't mean like, I just couldn't think of a word at the moment, so I used funded. But that's on me though. That's on me. Angel's Room said, and we don't know what news the world government doesn't want Morgan to leak. Exactly. We don't. I'm assuming that it's not the warlord system. I don't think that's the news. Even though it could have been, right? It would make sense that it could have been. Why? Because maybe they didn't want to announce that they were going to capture the warlords, right? So they wanted to catch the warlords off guard or something. So they'll be a lot easier to take down. That's the only reason why I could see that possibly being like the leaked information they didn't want. But I think it's going to be either the assassination attempt or whoever got hurt or caught, right? Either caught or hurt, or killed. I think it's one of those two stories. Angel said, I think this new has nothing to do with the warlords. Yeah, I don't think it does either. I'm just saying that's the only reason why I could see it being the warlords that they were talking about. But I don't think it's the warlords. I'm just saying. You say, I think it's more private for them to send CP9. I don't know. I mean, I think they might have to send CP0, but, CP0 is busy in Wano. I don't know if CP9 is strong enough to handle guys like Mihawk and Boa, like the whole Kuji clan or Kuja clan, and, maybe they could handle Gecko Moria though. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not, because Gecko Moria is no scrub. I'll say that he's no scrub. He got a pretty OP devil fruit ability. It's pretty underrated, but I think Gecko Moria himself, I think with Gecko Moria, I think he just was lazy and got weaker. Like he wasn't as sharp of a fighter as the same Moria who fought against Kaido, right? I think he got lazy. He got, I can't think of the word, but complacent. He got complacent, he got lazy, and very reliant on his devil fruit. So against some good fighters with devil fruit abilities or even hockey, he'd have trouble. He'd definitely have trouble. He got beat by a pre-time skip Luffy, but that's here nor there. Angel's Room said, no, I mean how they sent CP9 to deal with Morgans. Oh, okay. All right. I thought you meant the Shichibukai. Then we got Shark Key in the building. Welcome to the chat. Shark Key said Luffy going to have to save another brother. Going to end up different this time as that happens again. Oda is known to mirror pre-time skip and after time skip. Man, I've heard theories that, maybe it's a red herring. Maybe nothing happened to Sabo, and a lot of people think it could end up, I've heard not theories, but I guess I'll say theories about there possibly being a point where Luffy gets captured and Sabo has to rescue Luffy. Sabo, Dragon, the Straw Hats, they all have to rescue Luffy. I would kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be opposed to a arc where it's like a Luffy retrieval arc where we go rescue the main character. You know, and it's it'd be like a whole arc where it's like Luffy's not, you know, Luffy's not in it, right? Like it'd be like the first arc where Luffy is not a part of. I think there was another arc where Luffy wasn't a part of, but I think he's been a part of all these arcs. But like if he's just out of the arc the whole time, and then you got Sabo who's kind of like the protagonist of the arc, you know, where he goes find the Straw Hats, and then bruh. That we could get like a Kaino versus Sabo. That's where we get like Zoro versus maybe Kizaru. I think Sanji might be a better matchup for Kizaru, but I don't know. I think Zoro might fight like Fujitara. Like he would probably fight Fujitara, and because I mean, but Kizaru uses a sword as well, but I wouldn't classify him as a swordsman. And Zoro always tend to fight the swordsman, right? So I would think Zoro will fight Fujitara, who is a swordsman, and then that means Sanji would have to fight Kizaru. So if something like that happens, Sabo could fight Akainu, get revenge for Ace as well. Like that'd be dope if Sanji's if Sabo's the one to get revenge for Ace instead of Luffy, right? You know, either Luffy or Sabo makes sense though. Either one. Angel's Room said the leak might be about how the Gorosei had a meeting with Shanks. I don't think so. My question is, well, I get. My question is, you know, remind me, because I'm a bit forgetful. So remind me, Angel. Is the existence of the Gorosei like known? Because I always felt as though they were kind of secretive, and if that's the case, how would news have gotten out about that meeting? I don't think there was anybody in that room who would have leaked the meeting between Shanks and the Gorosei. I don't think so. And I feel as though Gorosei is pretty secretive compared to normal people. But remind me. Shark, he said I actually wouldn't mind that with the Sabo saving Luffy. It'd be a nice little change up, right? Like the thing with me when it comes to like these stories, like anime and stuff, I always like when stories kind of go in a way that is unpredictable, right? Because there's a lot of tropes. There's a lot of, you know, where you get the good guy, he comes, beat the bad guy at the, you know, end of it, or he's outclassed by the bad guy, so he gets power up, and then he eventually beats the bad guy. I like stuff that kind of goes against like the average storytelling, right? Like I want to see Luffy get caught and him having to get saved. You know, I want to see Luffy be defeated by Kaido at the end of this arc. You know, and then maybe he beat Kaido in like the major war. I don't think that's happening at that point, but that's kind of one of those things. I'm not going to argue with nobody on that because I don't think that's happening at this point in the story. But that was one of those things I always kind of considered, right? That's one of those things I just kind of like the idea of. Angel's Room said that would totally shake the world, but not what they discussed, just that they met. Yeah, I think people know they exist, Emu is the unknown one. LOL. Yeah. I just don't know if I don't think there was nobody in that room who was leaking, who would have leaked that information. You know, like even if there are guards, I think whoever the guards are, they're probably like super they probably like are super loyal. You know, like they probably do the best of when it comes to like I'm trying to think of that word when you like investigate people's history and all that. But pretty much that when you vet people, yeah, that's the word, vet. Like they probably vet like anybody who is close to the celestial dragon or the Gorosei per se, are probably like extremely vetted, to where they're like, you know, like they're probably super loyal. I don't think nobody would have leaked that information. I'm just saying, like that's all I'm saying on that one. I'm gonna finish these chat and then we're gonna go into this video because we need to start this video. I'm kind of, hey man, I like talking about Reverie. I think it was a great arc, right? It's a great few chapters, you know. You said, but people don't know their name like us. Not sure what you're saying. Probably, yeah, it was just an idea. No, I get it, but yeah, I think it's probably. I think the leaked information has to do with either the attempt, the murder attempt, or the whatever happened, like the other thing that happened outside the murder attempt. But anyway, y'all, let's get into this video. Let me start wasting time. The link to this video is going to be in the description box, so y'all make sure y'all go show Marshall D. Preach some love. I rock with Marshall D. Preach's content, you know. And this video was sent to me by Cube through the Discord, which if y'all want to send me stuff to react to, I got a submission channel in the Discord for that. So that is the main place I want people to send me videos. But y'all could, if y'all don't got Discord, y'all can send it to me Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That works as well. Anyway, let's get into this video.
What happened at the Reverie? What's the government trying to hide from the world? Who was the death? Who committed an attempted murder? Who they try to murder? And why they try to murder?
So it was somebody died supposedly. Yeah, not fatality. Somebody did die. I knew something happened to somebody, but
them. What was the prize that Blackbeard was going to claim? What was the leaked intel that Wobble had? Why is everyone's reaction to Sabo sad and shocking? Why was Eames staring at a picture of Vivi? And what happened to her after the Reverie? What if I told you that I dove deep into every one of those questions, rereading the Reverie over and over, rereading each translation, and came to a conclusion? After rereading it many times, I finally came to a conclusion that ties all the pieces together and that makes perfect sense. I believe I found a logical answer to each one of the questions, and I also found possible foreshadowing from all the way back to Whiskey Peak. If you want to learn what happened to Vivi, Sabo, King Cobra, and others, then stay tuned because today...
So, supposedly there was some things foreshadowed since Whiskey Peak. You know, I don't know what it could have been. You know, I mean, Vivi, it must have had something to do with Vivi because, you know, Vivi was at Whiskey Peak, of course. You know, that was during the time where she was working under Baroka Works, right? And, you know, she was working as a spy under them. So, you know, I'm assuming it has something to do with like Vivi related, right? Angel's Room said, interesting. Marshall D. Preach got me excited. Hey, you know, he you know, you talking about the leaked information, you know, he's definitely about to talk about that. So let's see what it is.
Today we're going to be diving deep into One Piece's biggest mysteries. Remember to like and subscribe if you're a true One Piece fan, and now let's get into it. In chapter 956, we clearly see that Shirahoshi and King Neptune are clueless about what happened to the Alabasta royals. They seem very calm talking to Garp about what took place. King Neptune says that the meeting got intense, especially since there's years of history built up between countries. Everything seems to be normal until Garp brings something up that they haven't heard about. He tells them that the Navy is using its full resources to solve a matter that is regarding the Kingdom of Alabasta. What happened with Alabasta? Since we see that the Navy is trying to fix a problem of the whole nation, that indicates that possibly the royal lineage of Alabasta has dispersed. How could a whole kingdom be in trouble if they only lose their king? If the king died, wouldn't that make Vivi the next incoming leader of the kingdom? Well, if something terrible truly happened to Alabasta,
I mean, maybe. Because it would make sense that it's King Nefertiti that's the like my theory on what happened, like what I believe probably happened, was, maybe they tried to kill Vivi, because remember, she was the person who they chose. That her picture was the one Eam chose, right? So maybe the assassination attempt was on Vivi, but Nefertiti was the one who got hurt or killed, right? And maybe they try to pin that on Sabo. And right now, Sabo, I don't know if I believe he's captured, but he might be on a run or something. Like they might be after him. I don't know. It's hard to call. Angel said, "Well, the leak info is the death most likely." Yeah, that's what I think. Because if let's say King Nefertiti's the one who died, right? If he's the one who died, just imagine like information getting leaked about a king dying, right? That could cause chaos in Alabasta, with like no leadership, So yeah, you're right. You're right. It could be if it's like Nefertiti, if he was the one who died, or like Riku, but I think it'd probably be Nefertiti or what's his name? Nefertiti Cobra, King Cobra. I think if it was a king who died, I would probably think that's the secret. That's the information they wouldn't want put out to the public, because maybe the world government is trying to instill a new leader in Alabasta, and let's say if the people know about his death, maybe that might make their transition a little harder, right? Because maybe they don't want Vivi to be next in line. I would think like if she did survive and Cobra got killed, maybe the fact that they wanted her dead, they don't want her to be in charge of Alabasta regardless, right? And if that's the case, and maybe Sabo took Vivi, right? Maybe Sabo took Vivi, and so there is no bloodline there. So they're trying to keep that under wraps so they can instill their own leadership in Alabasta and keep like the Nefertiti family out. That's kind of what I would think. Angel's Room said, yeah, they might have blamed Sabo because he was there most likely. Yeah. Like maybe Sabo left with her, right? And Shark, he said, I feel like there has to be escalation though. Sabo is already on the run with the Revolutionary Army. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know if they got him for sure, because again, if they captured Sabo, this might be Ace all over again, and do we want another Ace all over again arc? I mean, some people might like that, but it's like And I could see if we do get another Ace arc, it's gonna be like Luffy possibly actually saving Sabo and Sabo not dying, but still it's kind of like a repetitive arc, I would think. So, I don't know if I like the idea of Sabo have gotten caught. But yeah, let's continue.
Then that means that something would have had to happen to both Vivi and King Cobra. I'll explain more about what I believe happened to the both of them and how it was foreshadowed since the first time we meet Vivi. Another very interesting thing about this scene at Fishman Island is when Garp says how at the Reverie, as long as no blood is spilled, he's willing to call it peace, and that this meeting was a bad one. Notice how he says this right before he tells them about an incident with Alabasta. Is Garp indicating that the Reverie meeting was peaceful on the outside, yet on the inside leading to the downfall of the world that they know? Is he also indicating that after the Reverie blood was shed, since he's not willing to call what happened peaceful, maybe he's foreshadowing that a war is coming? Later on in the chapter, we see Morgan say that there's been a death and an attempted murder. Another thing we see is a picture of Sabo on the wall. This is interesting since right after this, Dragon and the Revolutionaries are freaking out. Oda also shows us that Makino closed her bar due to her being very sad, and also Dadan crying. Another important thing to lay out before I get into my theory is that Wapol has...
I mean, why would they be crying though? Like why would what's her name, Yukino or whatever her name is, in Dadan, why would they be crying if Sabo is still alive? Just because he like is accused of assassination or attempt or accused of a murder, like, but why would they be crying, right? Why would they cry? Like, you don't, like, I get if he did something bad that brands him a criminal, I get why. I mean, which he's already looked at as a criminal, kind of like what Shark Key said about him already being on the run. So he's already looked at as a criminal. So it's like, why would they have been crying? It's almost like maybe Sabo is presumably dead. Like maybe they killed or tried to kill him, and they, it seems like they killed him, but maybe he's not really dead. Like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to make sense of it. Angel's Room said Garp is a legendary when it comes to lore with world government. Why would Makino be crying in generate met by why would she be crying in general when she met the guy once? Yeah, I don't know. I get why she might cry, because sometimes anime characters be emotional for like little things, right? But she was close with Luffy. She was super close with Luffy, so I could see maybe her crying because she's crying for Luffy personally. Like, I could see maybe that's why she cries, because she's sad for Luffy if Luffy finds out. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, but let's continue.
Has leaked intel for the Morgans. This will tie everything together with Vivi and Alabasta, and you'll see why later on. The last important detail that's tied with everything in this chapter is Blackbeard saying how he's gonna claim the prize that the government's going after. This is also tied with everything that happened at the Reverie, and what took place there is the motives for Blackbeard. Okay, so now that you understand the context of my theory of Vivi and Sabo faking their deaths, let's talk about what really went down at the Reverie. It seems pretty clear that King...
Bro, never mind. I don't want, because I just thought of this wild theory, right? This super ridiculously wild theory. It has nothing to do with this video, but it's a wild theory. But if y'all want me to talk about this crazy theory I got, just put, like, press 1 in the chat, and I'll tell y'all about this wild theory that I just thought of. I just don't want to do it because I don't want to get sidetracked, but it's just a random theory that just popped in my head. So give me a 1 in the chat for yes and 2 in the chat for no. And if I don't get nothing, then I'm just not gonna tell you guys no. You don't want to hear it. All right, we'll continue then.
King Cobra and King Riku really pushed the narrative of abolishing the warlord system. Fujitora and the two kings were able to...
Oh, now you change it to 1. Now you change it to 1. All right, I'll give y'all the theory. I'll give y'all a theory. Now, again, it's a stretch of a theory, and I'm gonna try to be short about it because I don't want. Plus, I haven't really. It's not a well thought out theory either, so it's gonna be short anyway. But what if, right? What if Blackbeard? I don't know, because when he said Blackbeard, this theory just popped in my head, right? What if Blackbeard takes Luffy's devil fruit? Now you probably gonna say, well, if he takes Luffy's devil fruit, Luffy would die. And you know, as far as we know, that's true. That's true. He probably would die. But what if somehow like Luffy is able to actually survive? Like, I don't know, like somehow there's a character with a certain ability or with certain, I don't know. Maybe there's some ritual to bring people back from like devil fruit deaths or something. I don't know. You know, but somehow Blackbeard takes Luffy's devil fruit, and like Luffy dies, but you know he's somehow saved, and so Luffy ends up having to master Haki or whatever to beat Blackbeard. I know, I get it. It's a wild idea. It just popped in my head. But just imagine Blackbeard, because when I hear like Blackbeard claiming the prize, right? What made me think of this theory is when he talks about Blackbeard claiming a prize that the world government been looking for, or that the world government's trying to get as well. One thing we know is that the world government been trying to get the Gummo Gummo no Mi this whole time, or the Hito Hito no Mi, and that's one thing they've been trying to get for like what, over 800 years, they said, and they constantly fail. So that's like a prize to them. So what if Blackbeard is the one that want to get it? I don't know. You know, it's not well thought out, so I'm not going to sit here and like stand and die on that hill. But I thought it was an interesting theory, I guess. Thought it was an interesting theory. Angel says Sharpkey funny as hell. Angel also say, yeah, just find a character who ate the chakra fruit and they do reanimation jutsu. I mean, that's kind of what Gecko Maria does. He reanimates things. Him and Big Mom. Probably more so Big Mom, right? Sharpkey said, LOL, that is a wild theory. And Angel said, but it's interesting idea. Yeah, it just, when he said something that the world government want, it made me think of that devil fruit. And then all of it just kind of fell into place. Would be cool to see Blackbeard pursue Luffy for his devil fruit. Hey, bro, he got one of the most old, like, come on now. Like, he got the Nika devil fruit. I could see Blackbeard wanting a devil fruit like that. You know, I don't think it's that much of a stretch, pun intended. Let's get back into the video.
To convince a majority of the vote that warlords are still pirates and should not be allied with the world government. With this being said, this is what was most likely on one side of the newspapers. Remember that Morgan said that since the events that took place are so insane, there will be 2 covers, one on the front and one on the back. What was on the front seems to be pretty obvious, but the back side of the newspaper is where only clues can truly expose what was written. The most important clue would be in chapter 823. The king of Alabasta, Nefertari Cobra, says how he wants to learn what the Nefertari Nefertari family of the past did to the world. He basically wanted to know something about the Void Century. He's wanted to know this ever since meeting Nico Robin and realized that she's not a bad person. He wants to learn about the history of Alabasta and about its poneglyph. We also see that the king is sick or coming close to his end. I believe he's probably ready to die for the truth and for the country of Alabasta. He probably thought that he may die at the Reverie and was even ready for it, but didn't expect that they would do something to Vivi as well. In chapter 908, as the Reverie begins, we see the Gorosei walking to meet with someone named Grey Emu. As they are walking, they discuss how King Cobra desires a meeting with them. They wonder if he's caught on to something of ancient history, and it seems like he has. Cobra at least wonders about what his ancestors did and why they left the 20 royal families of celestial dragons. He also wonders why reading a poneglyph is illegal and known to be the biggest crime in the whole world. While Im is walking up to her throne, and while she looks down at them, she is holding Vivi's wanted poster. The light she wants to extinguish this time is the Nefertari family. Not only does she know that Vivi has ties to the Straw Hats, but she also knows that King Cobra wishes to discuss with the 5 elders about his ancestors and about the poneglyphs. So yes, the light that will be erased from history this time is the Nefertari family. They are simply too dangerous to keep around. The world government was demanding to kill them after the Reverie ended, and although they think they got Vivi, she somehow escaped. Sabo plays.
Yeah, I agree. You know, he's about to talk about Sabo, I guess, possibly saving Vivi. That's where I think he's about to go with it. But yeah, like I definitely do believe that this whole, like, these new stories have something to do with Vivi or the Nefertari family in general. You know, based off of us knowing that the Gorosei asked Im what fire did he want, or has he decided on the fire he wanted extinguishers, something along that line, right? And we know that up to that point where they asked him that, he was carrying, he had the pictures of Luffy, Blackbeard, Vivi, and I think Shirahoshi, and he cut them all up, but he held on to Vivi's for some reason, you know. So, you know, the question is, why did he hold on to Vivi's picture? Now, I think the obvious answer is that's who he chose, right? Even though the other pictures he ripped up, and you could probably assume ripping something up mean that, like, you kind of want to eliminate them as well. But when they asked him that, you know, he had Vivi's photo on him at the time, so we're going to assume, or it's easier to just imply that it's Vivi, right? It's easier to imply that it's Vivi, and so it would make sense that the murder or the assassination attempt and the murder has something to do with the Nefertari family, but we also know it has something to do with Sabo as well. Like, we also know Sabo was in the newspaper about something. We don't know what just yet, and so Nefertari family and Sabo. It's just how does these two stories connect with, how does those two groups, you know, how does Sabo connect with the Nefertari family in this story? You know, that's like the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question. Angel's Room said, I just want to hear Blackbeard say Mugiwara. Mugiwara. How does Blackbeard say it? Because for some reason I'm thinking about, like, Doflamingo's voice saying it. Let's continue.
Plays a big role with this escape, and he's the next person I want to explain. So Sabo went to marry Joyce with other revolutionaries to declare war on the world government. As they are doing this, they see poor Bart being treated like an animal by Saint Rossword. Sabo can't control himself, and another revolutionary even says that they're not going to leave Kuma. By the reactions of the revolutionaries and of people who knew Sabo, it seems like the plan was a failure. The world thinks that Sabo, Cobra, and Vivi are dead, and here's what I think happened. At the end of the Reverie, King Cobra got his talk with the Gorosei. The Gorosei decided to meet with him just to make sure what his intentions were and what he wanted to speak about. He most likely asked them about the Void Century, why his people left the Celestial Dragons, and why poneglyphs are illegal to read if they show you the history of a blank century. What's there to hide from the world? The Gorosei decided to meet with him just to make sure what his intentions were and what he wanted to speak about, and may have realized that it has something to do with what happened with the Straw Hats and Nico Robin. After this, they had no mercy on him and may have killed him or at least hired someone to kill him for them. This is probably what the world government wanted Morgans to keep out of the newspaper. Another interesting point to lay out of the...
I mean, like, I get why they would want to kill King Nefertari, right? I get that. But why would they want to kill Vivi? You know, like, what made her catch the eye of Emu, right? Emu. Because I feel as though there's a explanation for the other three characters, right? Like Luffy. You know, Luffy has been causing a lot of problems for the world government. He's Dragon's son as well. He declared war on the world government in his lobby. He's also proud, you know, his devil fruit. Even though we don't know if they were privy to his devil fruit at that point. Because maybe if they were privy to his devil fruit at that point, maybe Eam would have chose to kill Luffy instead, right? Maybe Luffy would have been the decision. So, but we know there's plenty of reasons why they would want Luffy dead. Blackbeard is also, you know, because Blackbeard could be a threat to the world, to the power in general. You know, he used the world government to become a Yonko. Like, that's a dangerous man, right? That is a dangerous man to have been a nobody, and only in a few years he becomes a Yonko. He was a nobody in Whitebeard's crew, only in a few years to become a Yonko. Like, that's something to be said. That's the type of guy you want to look out for. And then Shanks also talked to him about Blackbeard as well. Well, we think. We don't know. I don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know. It could have been Luffy as well. We don't know. As far as Shirahoshi, I could see why they would want her dead as well, because she is Poseidon. She's an ancient weapon, right? And maybe the ancient weapons were designed to pretty much work against the world government's best interests, you know? So she's just naturally, you know, being an ancient weapon, I could see her just naturally being a enemy of the world government. But why Vivi though? Like, why Vivi? Angel's Room said to extinguish the bloodline. But that's when I asked, what makes the bloodline, right? What makes the bloodline such a danger to the world government? Now, I get that her family were part of the original kingdoms, like the part of original 20 kingdoms, and they could have been celestial dragons, but they opted to stay in their kingdom, stay in Alabasta, and stay with like the common folk, and not like ascend to that celestial dragonhood. But like, what makes them so dangerous though? You know, what makes Vivi specifically so dangerous? You know, you said erase them from history. I think he said that in the beginning, but let's keep watching and see. And I get what you're saying, but my point is, what makes Vivi more dangerous? What makes the Nefertari bloodline more dangerous than Poseidon or or Monkey D. Luffy, right? The man who Dragon's son, you know, the one who declared war on your organization. Blackbeard, you know, what makes Vivi a higher priority is what I'm saying. Don't want her talking to her ancestors. Yeah, you wild, man. Let's keep watching.
King being the death that Morgans was talking about has to do with the arc Amazon Lily. In Amazon Lily, when Luffy is about to fight Boa's sisters, they come out to show us their Zoan forms for the first time. Marigold has a snake form that's called King Cobra, kind of like King Cobra of Alabasta. Now, the interesting thing here is that as she turned into this, and as Oda shows us that her Zoan form is a King Cobra, the Amazon warriors are chanting the word death. Maybe this is foreshadowing that King Cobra is the death at the Reverie or will die by the end of the series.
I don't know if I take that as foreshadowed. I don't know if I take like that specific instance with them screaming death and she takes on the King Cobra's form. I don't know if I take that as foreshadow, but that's neither here nor there. It doesn't take away from it, but that's funny though. Yeah, I don't like that specific statement. I don't know if Sharpkey said, I heard one theory that the celestial dragons overthrew the Lunarians and they go after people with Lunarian blood. I think that the celestial I think the Lunarians were part of like the ancient kingdom, right? Like, cause I don't know if the ancient kingdom, like Joy Boy and all them, like everybody who was part of the ancient kingdom, I don't know if they were Lunarians. I kind of think like maybe the Lunarians were part of the ancient kingdom, so they was like one of the races that were part of this kingdom, and they might have been like a special, a unique ally, right? Like they could have been very dangerous. I don't know, but I do believe that the world government did go after the Lunarians at some point. Angel's Room said, vote VV can speak to dead people. LOL, just jokes. Nah, it's all good. We cool, but I don't know, man. I'm really curious with why Vivi? Of all the choices, why Vivi?
On top of this, they realized that they couldn't allow the Kingdom of Alabasta to remain under the Nefeltari name, so their next victim was Vivi. This is where things get really interesting. At the same time that they are targeting the Nefeltari family and people of Alabasta, Sabo and the revolutionaries show up. Things don't go as planned for the revolutionaries, and their goal is still to declare war on the world government, but they are also trying to save their friend Bart. The newspaper labels the revolutionaries as an assassination attempt. They probably got word that the revolutionaries came to kill a world noble or to assassinate someone. While the revolutionaries are trying to save Kuma, the Nefeltari family is the last remaining family at Mary Joyce. Vivi and the other people of Alabasta notice Sabo as Luffy's brother, and then they try to help them, specifically Vivi. Of course, they have no respect for the world nobles after what they saw with Shirahoshi earlier that week. As they are helping Sabo, or at least talking to him, Vivi somehow gets close to Sabo and the revolutionaries. Now, I'm not sure if she already knows about her dad being killed yet or not, but if she does, then that's even another reason for the people of Alabasta to help the revolutionaries and fight the world government on the spot. As this is happening, the 5 elders may demand someone to kill Vivi. Someone throws or shoots a bomb off at Vivi and Sabo as they are trying to free Bart. As the bomb explodes, it seems that Vivi and Sabo die. Although the Navy did mean to kill her, it looks as if she got caught up in the crossfire since she was right next to Sabo. Okay, so now you may ask, why do I think that Vivi and Sabo supposedly went missing from an explosion? Like an explosion is so specific.
Yeah, I can kind of see something like that, right? I think it makes more sense for like the attempt how they try to kill them, something like an explosion or maybe like something falling on them, right? So where it's like it looked like they could be dead, but it's not like confirmed, right? Like it's like if a building look like it falls on somebody, you gonna think that person's dead. But unless that person somehow like drilled a hole under them and like avoided it at the very last second, same with like an explosion, right? So something along that line happening to mask to mask it to look like they died. Like that Vivi and Sabo died. And it looked like they're dead for sure, but nobody really actually confirmed it because it just kind of looked like they did, right? So I could see something along like that, like an explosion or a chunk of a building falling on them, or like, I don't know, they're in some type of structure that just collapsed on them or something. I don't know. It's tough. Angel said, how the hell they gonna believe a rumor? And the rumor is that Sabo and Luffy are brothers, but fucking course we know it's true, but Vivi don't know that. What are you talking about? How does who believe a rumor? Vivi? How does Vivi believe a rumor? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of confused with your what the question is. Like, what you're like, who you're talking about? Are you talking about how does Vivi believe a rumor, or how does like the Celestial Dragons believe a rumor? He said they gonna recognize Sabo as Luffy's brother. Oh, I don't know. I didn't catch that part. I don't know. I don't know how Vivi would know Sabo and Luffy. I would think Sabo would probably tell Vivi, or I don't know. Maybe she doesn't know right away. Maybe like the conversation just happens and it gets to a point where Sabo tells Vivi that Luffy, like maybe she talks about Luffy to Sabo and Sabo's like, hey, that's my brother. I don't think she would know that Sabo and Luffy are brothers off rip, because I don't think nobody ever told her about Sabo and Luffy being brothers, or just told her about Sabo in general. Yeah. Oh, you mean the world in general? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was ever established in the world that Sabo and Luffy are brothers. Ace and Luffy, now that's different, because people know that Luffy went to go save Ace, and I think it was revealed during the war. So, you said she would probably know about that rumor. It was at the Whole Cake Island, at the end of Whole Cake Island. Yeah, I don't know.
Pacific. Well, I believe that because it may have been foreshadowed on 3 different occasions dating all the way back to Whiskey Peak. In Whiskey Peak, we see Igardem fake his death by blowing up on a ship. Igardem is a part of Alabasta and he faked his death by exploding, so maybe this will foreshadow Vivi doing it as well. The next time we see someone connected with Vivi and Sabo blow up is Pell. Everyone thought that Pell died, but just like Igardem, he somehow also survived. Now I'm not here to tell you if the Will of P is a plot hole or not. I'm just saying that this is twice now that someone from Alabasta survived an explosion. The next hint of Sabo and Vivi.
When it comes to the Will of P, I think that's been disproven with Pedro's death. I don't think Pedro's coming back. I think if he was, he would have came back already. I don't think he's coming. If Oda decides to bring him back at this point, I don't know what the hell Oda thinking, honestly. Like, why? There's so many better moments you could have. Like, if you are going to bring back a dead character, a character you built to be dead at least, there were better opportunities to bring him than anytime, like moving forward. But yeah, I think Pedro's pretty dead, and I think he kind of disproven the myth of the Will of P. Angel's Room said Morgan put it as one of the reasons why Luffy should be considered the 5 emperors. But at the end of the day, it's still just a rumor. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Like he put like Sabo and him being brothers. Sharp Key said lame-o or laugh my ass off, Will of P. Hey man, the Will of P is a real thing in this community.
Faking their death through an explosion is when Sabo himself does that in Ace's flashback. Sabo's small boat was fired at by celestial dragons and everyone that knew him thought that he was dead. Somehow Dragon ended up saving him last minute, but for the most part he faked his death as well. So two people from Alabasta and Sabo himself faking their deaths through explosions led me to the idea that that's how they faked their death at Mary Joyce. Now you may wonder, well, if an explosion did seem to hit them, how would they even survive that? Not only survive, but how would they escape from the sights of Admiral Greenbull and other...
I think an explosion would be kind of weak because it would be easily because think about it. Sabo's devil fruit is the meta no mi, right? It's the meta no mi. Fire, explosions are usually just it's just a lot of, it's like a instant. I don't know how the best way to define the explosion, but it has to do with fire, right? So I don't think explosion would do anything to Sabo, and anybody who is aware of Sabo's ability would probably know like that an explosion is not going to kill this man. So, but maybe they're not aware of Sabo's ability, trying to think, because he got it in Dressrosa, the meta no mi, and I guess people at Dressrosa would know. Fujitaro was there, so he probably could confirm it. But the question is, did he share that knowledge with the rest of the Marines and the world government? So is that common knowledge? And I don't know. But if it was an explosion, Sabo should have easily been able to survive that and possibly absorb it to where Vivi doesn't get hurt. And if they don't know Sabo's devil fruit ability, then yeah, it could make sense, because they would probably think that he died in that explosion if they don't know his devil fruit ability. But if they do, they probably like, he's not dead. He got the meta no mi. Sharp Key said never heard that jump before. What jump? I'm confused because you made that comment and I said so much stuff, so I'm confused. My bad. Angel's Room said at least the episode made it clear that Dragon didn't have a devil fruit at that point. Since Ivankov commented Dragon was very wet, hinting at the fact he probably swam to save him. No, I think they showed him saving him. I think he grabbed, like, Sabo's arm was sticking out the water, and he grabbed his arm and picked him up. Like, Dragon didn't even touch the water when he saved Sabo. Like, I believe they showed that. Like, you can go back and look. They showed Dragon saving Sabo, and Dragon was like, he was out of the water, and Sabo's arm was sticking out, and I think he grabbed it. So technically, Dragon didn't even touch the water. I'm pretty sure they did. You said they didn't show Dragon saving him from what I remember. I'm pretty sure they did. I'll have to look it up, and I'll have to show you in, it might have been in the anime. I don't know if it was in the manga per se. Because I started watching the manga like after Dressrosa. I started reading the manga. So I don't know if it was in the manga, but I remember seeing it in the anime. I think it was in the anime. And you said, oh, you're right. Must have remembered things wrong. Yeah. Sharp, he said the Will of P. I never heard of it. Oh, you never heard of the Will of P? Yeah, that's something like the it's not like an official thing. It's like something fans created. Like they've been saying it, because I think there might have been another character, Pound survive. in Whole Cake Island. People thought that Pedro was gonna survive, and they was like Pedro got the will of peace, so he gonna survive. Dang, y'all never heard of the will of P? Oh my goodness, I'm surprised y'all never heard of the will of P. It started with Pell though. It started with Pell. The fact that characters with P tend to not die. You know, I think it became an official thing at like during Whole Cake Island though. I don't remember when it actually became official, but yeah, because Pell and Pound and then Pedro. So LL teaching us, man. Yeah, it's like, you know, I've heard it a few times. I think if y'all watch King of Lightning, I think he kind of says it a lot. I think he might have actually been the one to coin it though. He might have been the one to actually start that whole thing. But let's continue.
The Marines. Well, they escaped by Bart. Yes, as they were trying to save Bartholomew, he sent them both off flying to the place that would best suit them right before the impact of the bomb. I think this is the only realistic possibility, because if they were gonna fake their death in another way, don't you think that one of the admirals would have been able to sense them escaping? For example, we know that Morley has a devil fruit power that allows her to go underground to hide. If she hid Sabo and Vivi underground as the bomb exploded, I would assume that either Fuji or Green Bull would have noticed that they didn't die. With Bart's devil fruit power, they instantly escape, and it seems to the people around them that they actually did die. I can see a situation where a world noble, maybe even Saint Rossward, commanding.
I could see Kuma helping. Like maybe he got like a small moment of remembering Sabo, right? Just like maybe there was just a small bit of consciousness within Kuma that had him remember who Sabo was, and he just, you know, he gave him a hand, right? He just like literally gave him a hand, like, hey Sabo, high five, boop, and then Sabo's over in some other island at that point, and he's like, hey, you too, girl, give me a high five, boop. Sharky said, damn, gotta be out. I'm gonna finish this when uploaded. Appreciate it. Hey, shout out to Sharpkey. I appreciate you for stopping through, man. I appreciate you for stopping through. Shout out to Sharpkey. But let's continue so we could, you know, wrap this up. We still got a good bit.
Bart to fight Sabo and telling him to make.
Hold on. Angel's Room said, nah, you the One Piece creator I watch continuously only. Dang, man, that's. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate if you only watch one creator, I feel honored to be that one creator, man. I feel honored to be that one creator you watch, you know. And I appreciate you being part of the channel. I really do, you know. But yeah, let's continue with this whole Reverie thing.
Make them disappear. Since Bart is now a slave that obeys the celestial dragons, maybe he obeys Saint Rossward's command, but ironically he actually helps Vivi and Sabo. By making them escape or by fighting back, he uses his powers to send them off to other islands instead of killing them. Maybe the newspaper labels them as missing or allegedly dead since they disappeared. A part of Kuma's power is that he can send people off flying to the island that they need to go to the most. So where do Vivi and Sabo need to go the most? Well, for Vivi, I would think Wano. I believe she will be the next and last official member of the Straw Hat Pirates. Since Vivi is considered dead or missing until her body is found, she probably even has a dead or alive bounty poster. It seems like the world government is currently trying to take over Alabasta. Not only this, but it also seems as if Blackbeard is going to take over it as well. Shout out for Evil for coming up with this, and I do recommend checking out his theory on why Blackbeard is going to take Alabasta. In chapter 956, after the newspapers get released to the public, we see Blackbeard say, if the Navy is going to take it, then I might as well claim the prize. What would the Navy be taking? Wouldn't it only make sense they go to take over Alabasta, since King Cobra may have just died and Vivi gone missing, and also since it has valuable resources like an ancient weapon. We also see Garp say that the Navy is using its full resources to solve the matter which involves the kingdom of Alabasta. Full resources means that they're sending ships over to the island and
I don't like. I mean, cause I don't know. Like, I don't remember Blackbeard's words being like, if the Navy wants it, then we're gonna take it. I don't remember him saying that. I remember him saying something about claiming the prize. I don't remember him like referencing the Navy, but I mean, I guess he did. Maybe it's different depending on the translation. I have to check it out in the official. But like, I don't. Why would he want Alabasta of all places? I mean, I guess if he wanted Pluton, maybe. But it's like, I feel as though for like the type of his dreams, like if he's trying to be like Pirate King or even King of the World, I would think that the One Piece might be priority, right? And to me, Alabasta doesn't really have anything that's gonna progress him towards the One Piece, you know, because I think that the poneglyph in Alabasta just talks about Pluton. I don't think it's anything referencing the One Piece or anything helpful towards finding Laugh Tale, right? So I'm like, what would he want at Alabasta? You know, I would think like him going to like Whole Cake Island would be more priority to go get like the poneglyph from Big Mom, right? I would think that would be more, or getting another devil fruit, you know. I like to think Kaido's, but you know, there's other good devil fruits he could be after as well, you know. But I don't know what he want at Alabasta, but you know, we're gonna hear what Marshall D. Preach got to say. He says, I only watch other creators when I'm really bored, but man, respect, man. Appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Hey, that's what's up, man. I like, cause you come here. I like when you come here cause you challenge me. I like that. I like how you challenge me. It makes the stream. I like to be challenged for the stream purposes, right? I like that, you know. So, hey, I appreciate you for being here and you know, discussing these things with me. Let's continue.
I'm gonna take it over. The world probably views this as a good thing, but we the readers know about the government cover-ups. So if the Navy is gonna take Alabasta, then that means that Blackbeard is gonna try to claim the land and ancient weapon for himself. So now you see why Vivi joining the Straw Hats makes perfect sense right now. She doesn't have any place to go home to, or wait, does she actually? Her home from here on out in the story is the Thousand Sunny. The Thousand Sunny is her home and the Straw Hats are her family. I also think Vivi being sent off by Bart is somewhat of an initiation for her joining the pirate crew. Every other pre-time skip Straw Hat was sent off by him at their lowest point. The same thing may have happened to Vivi. Each Straw Hat had to meet back up after being sent off by Bart, so maybe the same thing will happen to her. Vivi won't even be forced to go.
I kind of like that logic, right? Like, I like the idea of Vivi having to go through her own ordeal as a Straw Hat, like her own ordeal that Kuma pretty much gives her, right? As a Straw Hat, you know, especially her being one of the pre-time skip honorable Straw Hats, you know. So, but yeah, that's actually an interesting idea though. Like sending her somewhere to be challenged. Like, I don't know.
Go back to save her country since it might be in good hands. I know what you may be thinking. How is it in good hands if either the Navy or Blackbeard took it over? Well, just hear me out on this and you'll see why. Something that I can see happening with Alabasta is that the king may have told someone that he trusts where Pluton is and what it is. He may have known that this would be his last trip and that the world government would have tried to attack him and Alabasta after it. The only true friend of the king that didn't go to the trip of the Reverie was Koza. Koza is probably the most loyal citizen of Alabasta and honestly could have even become the king someday. Who knows, maybe he is the new king right now. I mean, Vivi does refer to him as leader, hinting that he could become the leader of the country one day. In my opinion, he is fit to be a leader of the country because he truly does love Alabasta and its people. He's willing to do whatever it takes to defend them and to help them. Although he was tricked by Croc before, now he is more loyal to the king and kingdom than ever. The king most likely told him the location of Pluton just in case things went messy at the Reverie, which it seems they did. Another hint to Koza becoming the future leader of the country is in the flashback when he saves Vivi's life as a child. After he saves her, the king of Alabasta tells him how the next generation of their country is dependable because of him. The king also asks him if he loves his country, and Koza shows him that his love is similar to the king's. The next page or panel after this, we see the king telling Ikerdom that he fears that Vivi is too nice to be the next ruler of the country. This is interesting because it almost seems like he's thinking of Koza being the next possible ruler instead of Vivi. I mean, we do know that Koza's willing to lay down tough decisions after he started a revolution. This may actually happen.
I mean, that's easily solved though, right? Like, what do, if a king wants a certain guy king, right? The guy marries his daughter, right? King Nefertiti, King Cobra or whatever, he has a daughter, a princess. She's a princess, right? She's, you have Koza marry your daughter. He's the king. She's the queen. Your lineage continues. The next in line. Simple as that. Vivi doesn't have to be in charge of the country. You have Koza, but he gets married into royalty, I guess. Angel's Room said, we know Vivi personality. She's more likely to join the Revolutionary Army than join the Straw Hats in these conditions. Vivi going to marry that guy. Interesting. I mean, that's the most logical thing, right? She is technically a Straw Hat though. She is technically she's like an honorary Straw Hat. She's like a Straw Hat that doesn't live on the ship. You might as well say, because that's pretty much what they made her in Alabasta, right? They said, you can't really travel with us because you're a princess, so don't go telling everybody that you're a Straw Hat. For your safety, though. But yeah. So I think her rightful place is as a queen, but if it's not as royalty as a queen, switch Straw Hats,
knowing that something tragic took place at the Reverie. So who knows, Blackbeard and the world government may not even end up with Alabasta itself. Therefore, Vivi can join the Straw Hats freely without having to go back to save her country as she did before. Now for where Bart sends Sabo, I have multiple places in mind that he could have been sent. Wano has direct parallels with Ace, and maybe Sabo shows up in Wano in a way that Ace did. Although I do think Luffy will defeat Kaido. Another possible location would be the revolutionary base, Memorial Island. We see Dragon say that they can't assume anything is true yet, which shows that maybe says Sabo died but his body wasn't found. Sabo may drop down from the sky and tell them the whole story. The last location I think Bart could have sent him off is
bro, why he had to do my man Sanji like that, bro? Sanji ain't had nothing to do with this arc, and he gonna do my man Sanji like that. Come on now, why you go? Why you do this image of Sanji, man? Sanji had it rough at that point, man. Sanji was going through it. At this point. I mean, I know he's talking about the Kamibaka Kingdom and everything, but come on now, you ain't had to show Sanji when he was there. That man was going through it at this point. This was a sad moment in history for the Straw Hats. Justice for Sanji. Angel's Room said, yeah, but in these conditions, she wouldn't want to burden them with her problem. And since the Revolutionary Army already declared war on world government, why not join them? Even though she knows why they wouldn't mind helping her. I mean, she's a Straw Hat. She's still a Straw Hat. And Luffy is always going to ride for his crew, right? Right or wrong. Don't matter what it is. If she asks Luffy's help, even Luffy, she knows how Luffy is. Like, Luffy would be upset with her if she needed help and she didn't ask him. Like, Luffy would be pissed at that she wouldn't ask him for help. I'm mad at this Sanji picture, man. I can't even debate with you right now with the Sanji picture up. Yeah, it's just she's part of the crew, man. She just is. You know, don't ask why. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. Let me click so I can get past this arc, man. This is a sad day in history.
And tell them the whole story. The last location I think Bark could have sent him off is Alabasta. The reason for this would be because, yet again, it's somewhat a parallel with Ace. Alabasta is where Luffy first sees Ace since becoming a pirate. Although, if Blackbeard is going to Alabasta, then that would also be a parallel with Ace. Ace lost to Blackbeard in a fight before a huge war started, so maybe Sabo will win against the Blackbeard pirates before a huge war starts. This would be with the help of Pluton and the Alabasta army. Now, I'm not fully sure on which place Sabo went, but I think there's a chance for any of them. Who knows, maybe Bart even sent him off somewhere else, which better fits the story.
Leaked intel.
Now that you've heard what I believe happened at the Reverie, there's still one more thing to discuss. That would be, what was the leaked intel that Wapol had? Well, the leaked intel would be that Vivi was a former Straw Hat, or at least was allied with the Straw Hat crew, whose captain is currently Joy Boy. Think about it, the government covered up the fact that the Straw Hats defeated Baroque Works and that Luffy saved Alabasta. Not many even know that Vivi is friends with them and was even once on their crew. The reason Wapol finally leaked it.
I don't know if I believe that was the leaked information. I'm gonna let him finish though. But I just don't know if I'm sold on them leaking that. You know, I mean that would be pertinent information. So I mean I can't say it's a stretch or anything. I just don't know if that's what they were talking about, right? I don't think that's what they was talking about. Cause again, like why? I think whatever information that the world government didn't want leaked. Like Morgan's was already like after the world government tried to like threaten him, Morgan still was like, no, I'm printing it. Bam. He said he was still going to print it, and then he printed. Then we get that newspaper, you know. So for me, the only reason why I don't think the leaked information is anything grand, I think the leaked information they was talking about was the information that we pretty much got on the newspaper, because it's like Morgan's pretty much said like, you're not going to censor me, and you know he pretty much said it pretty much was implied that he's going to leak the information. He's not listening to world government. He's not going to listen to them, and he's going to do what he wants, and that's put the information out there. So I assume that he put the information out there, and the information they didn't want leaked was the information that we got. And that was the assassination / attempted murder, you know, or the murder / attempted murder. I think it's one of those that was the leaked information, because, you know, if he didn't leak it, right? Why even rebel against the world government if he wasn't going to leak it, if he wasn't going to publish it? Why even rebel against them? You know, I don't know. You know, it don't make sense to me. You know, it makes sense that he would rebel against them and then leak it anyway, or publish it anyway, and then we get the whole reveal about something happened with Sabo, the whole attempted murder, the whole murder. You know. Angel's Room said, to be honest, I just want people to leave her alone. She made her decision over 20 years ago. Funny thing is, she's the only side character to ever get their own bounty poster with the Straw Hat for a transition scene. Yeah, because she's a Straw Hat, man. I'm telling you, man. They even said, they like, hey, man, you a Straw Hat, but, you know, you got to stay here. That's pretty much what they told her. They like, you a Straw Hat, but you got to stay here. Or that's kind of what they agreed on it. But they said again, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, they said that she was indeed a Straw Hat, you know. Even though she don't travel with them, they still kind of gave her a title of the Straw Hat. So And now you saying they gave her the Wonder poster in the transitions in the anime. That's even more evidence. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying she's a Straw Hat, man. Let's go.
This is because of the huge news that just dropped. He doesn't like Vivi and wants to do anything he can to put dirt on her name. Her being allied with the Straw Hats makes her look like a criminal herself from a One Piece worldview. Even though the world thinks she and the king are dead, they probably don't even feel bad since they seem to be criminals or at least friends with one of the most wanted crews in the seas. Some kings and nations are probably even becoming enemies with Alabasta because of this. Wapol probably also leaked this intel for a load of cash, which sounds like something he'd do. So answering all the questions from the beginning of the
good final point though, the fact that Wapol would leak that information. I mean that is true. That is true. I just think that the information they were talking about, the leaking, was already pretty much published, and that was whatever we got in the newspaper. And if they didn't really talk about it, if they ain't talk about Vivi being a Straw Hat, then I can't really I can't say that was the leaked information, because I feel as though whatever leaked information was published. You know, that's what I believe. Angel's Room said, nah, she said she had to stay there, and the Straw Hats just said they would always be friends. I'm pretty sure they made her a Straw Hat though. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look it up. But I'm pretty sure. Let's wrap this video up though.
the video, what was the government trying to hide from the world? They were trying to hide the fact that they killed King Cobra and it wasn't accidental. Who was the death that Morgan's brought up? The death was King Cobra, as he may have been killed in plain sight. Although it seems that both Vivi and Sabo may also be labeled as dead or something along those lines. I believe the newspaper also says that they're actually missing because they couldn't find their bodies after the explosion. It seemed like they died, but there's technically no evidence of their bodies being found. Who committed an attempted murder? Who'd they try to murder, and why'd they try to murder them? Sabo committed an attempted murder. He tried to kill Saint Rossword, and he wanted to kill him because he rode on top of Bartholomew and treated him like an animal. Although Sabo didn't go to the Reverie to murder a celestial dragon, since he went there to declare war on the world government, it sure looked as if he attempted murder in the eyes of most witnesses. He probably raged and couldn't take seeing Bart treated that way. What was the prize that Blackbeard was gonna claim? The prize is Alabasta. What was the leaked intel that Wapol had? The leaked intel would be that Vivi is both friends and was once part of the Straw Hat crew. Why is everyone's reaction to Sabo sad and shocking? Because they might think he died, even though he actually escaped through his friend Bart. How would Vivi survive after it seemed Eam wanted to extinguish her light? She may have also been sent off by Bart to the Straw Hats. What do you think about this theory? Let me know anything down in the comments, and please help a guy out and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and remember to have a great day.
We're gonna give that a like. Shout out to Marshall D. Preach. Always putting out content, putting out quality content. Now, I would say this, there's some stuff I don't really agree with on this theory, but he made some good points on a lot of his reasoning. So, again, I can't knock it. I don't know if Blackbeard is after Alabasta. That's one of them. That's one thing I don't know if I really agree with. I just don't see any value for him in Alabasta other than Pluton. But again, I don't know if he knows about Pluton being in Alabasta, and if Pluton is even still in Alabasta. I feel as though there's other more urgent things Blackbeard could be after more than the country of Alabasta. Maybe Robin. Robin, again, he's talking about something that the world government want. The world government wants Robin, right? The world government wants Robin. They've been wanting Robin for a while. So again, and she's a prize. She's an actual prize that can actually push Blackbeard's goals forward, And Blackbeard, if Blackbeard could get Robin, he wouldn't even need to go to Whole Cake Island, because they already have the copies of Robin probably already read the copies of Whole Cake Island's poneglyph, right? You know, he probably might need one in Wano. He might need the Wano poneglyph. Hey, I've been saying Blackbeard going to Wano for a minute. You know, so, and if he goes there for Robin, that can, again, Rob, like, there's so many, I believe that there are reasons for Blackbeard to go to Wano. The poneglyph, you know, help him succeed in his trying to become Pirate King. Robin, same thing. Maybe Blackbeard, maybe Kaido's Devil Fruit if he wants a powerful zone Devil Fruit, or Luffy. You know, I say Luffy as well. But also we'll get Moria found confrontation between Kaido possibly. Now again, I think it's kind of late in Wano for that to happen. I don't know if Blackbeard will get there in time to make any impact in Wano. But I think there's something. I think there's more of a reason for him to be in Wano than Alabasta. You know what I mean? But yeah, and another prize. You know, he could go to Whole Cake Island as well, get the poneglyph there. You know, maybe he's looking for a specific devil fruit that we may not be aware of that the world government is also looking for. I don't know. I just not sold on Alabasta, right? What else? What else he said that I kind of was a little iffy on? I mean, about maybe Sabo trying to kill the Celestial Dragon. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe, I guess. I forgot. There was another point, but I kind of forgot it. I forgot that one as well. Let me read this chat. Angel's Room says, she said, can we still be friends? And the Straw Hats just raised their fist as a sign of friendship with the ex. Robin would probably lie to him like she did Crocodile. No, I mean, I'm not even talking about the part. I think there was another part where they kind of made her a crewmate. But again, I gotta find it. I don't know for certain. I'm gonna look for it after this stream, and then I'm gonna send it in the Discord to you, just so we could hash. And that's if I can find it, because maybe there's nothing out. Maybe I'm just conjuring up memories. Angel's Room said Robin would probably lie to him like she did Crocodile. I mean, she could, but maybe Blackbeard, being the savvy guy that he is, maybe he might have a way around lies. You know, like he could. Maybe there's somebody who has a devil fruit in his crew that can force people to tell the truth, or that can detect lies, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you know. I don't know, you know, because I would think Blackbeard would probably be prepared. He would probably already know that Robin's not going to want to be cooperative and tell him stuff. Like, she might be willing to lie and all those things. So I could see Blackbeard being the type of person who will have a workaround with that. You know, maybe he threatens her, like say like, look, I'm a kill such and such. I don't know. Like maybe he takes a hostage and say, look, I'm gonna kill this little girl, like Otama or something. Well, Luffy does try to make her Straw Hat, but she declines, saying her future is with the people of Alabasta. Oh, I mean, I'll look it up, man. I'll look it up. I'm gonna look it up to see if that's what happened. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm trying to think of like what was some things. That's pretty much it though. Like I forgot what I was thinking of, but yeah. So as far as what happened, what I believe happened was maybe they tried to assassinate, maybe they tried to kill both King Cobra and Vivi, right? Maybe Sabo came and interfered to save Vivi or whatever. I don't know. And Cobra might have got killed. Cobra probably died, and Sabo probably ran off with Vivi, and so they kind of chalked it up as a murder attempt and a murder. But yeah, that's kind of what I believe. As far as Blackbeard, I think I don't know exactly what he's going for. I don't know if I don't believe it's Alabasta per se, but who knows, right? Who knows? It's about to reach 100 subs, man. Hey, I know, man. I'm psyched for that. I'm looking forward to that. I think I might have a little something for everybody. Once we hit those 100 subs, he said, "Here's an early congratulations." Thanks, man. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. I'm trying, to try and grow with the channel, man. I'm trying to grow the channel. It's a process, though. It's a process. Process I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying meeting new people. I'm enjoying talking to you guys. I'm enjoying talking to you guys who deem me as worthy as, listening to what I got to say and also talking to me. So I really appreciate that, man. Can't wait to reach 100 subs. I think I'm gonna do something for it, but I don't fully know just yet. But we'll get there. We will get there, y'all. We will get there. So y'all make sure if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, help us reach that 100 subscriber mark. Also hitting that bell for notifications. But yeah, and once we hit that 100 subscriber mark, I have something for my subscribers. So yeah. Anyway, it's been a good stream. I don't really have nothing much else on the topic. I think I've said everything there is to say. It's a great theory, great video put together by Marshall D. Preach. There were some things I kind of disagree with, but still great. He made excellent points. Like I want to point that out. Just because I disagree with something, don't mean the points aren't great. It was a good theory with great points. I think, even with the Marshall D. Preach or the Blackbeard part I disagree with. I think his reasoning behind it is still, I think it's reasonable. Like everything he said, I don't think there's nothing he said that wasn't like reasonable, that didn't make sense and didn't kind of fit with certain some of the logic, But yeah, anyway, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all show the stream some love. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit that bell for notifications so you know when I go live. Because I don't know if YouTube be letting my subscribers know I'm live. So y'all gotta hit that bell. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook. And if you are looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the Facebook group and the Discord. The Discord is the best place to send me videos. So y'all make sure y'all send me videos. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow. Y'all might catch me on another stream, but that's, I'm still kind of making sure, that's going to be the thing. But, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, y'all have a good evening. Shout out to Angel's Room and shout out to Shark Key for, being part of the stream. I really appreciate you guys. Anyway, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff Guide. Y'all have a good Thursday evening. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time. Y'all have a good day. I'm out of here. Peace.